Hello, this is a test. We are at a swim meet. There are girls swimming. They're from Hill Murray and from Hastings. And it's hot. Is that enough a test for you?
HCTV Sports is supported by Biermeyer Financial Management, Retirement Planning Expertise.
First goal of the year goes for the Raiders.
Oh, beautiful shot there. Nicely done. Gets the pin.
Oh, was that beautiful? Onside kick, and it's recovered by Hastings.
And he's rung up for strike 3.
Doblowy! Touchdown Raiders!
Welcome to HCTV live broadcast from Hastings Middle School Pool. Tonight we are live at the Hastings Raiders swim and dive, the girls swim meet versus the Hill Murray. Pioneers? My apologies. My mind went blank. We are excited that we can be here live tonight. My name is Julie Urban. We have swimmers getting ready for the first event. It is a relay, and as you look at your screen, lane 1 is at the top and lane 6 is at the bottom. Tonight, the Hastings Raiders will be swimming in lanes 1, 3, and 5. And the Hill Murray Pioneers will be in 2, 4, and 6.
Tonight we are starting with event 2. It's the girls 200-yard medley relay varsity.
We have the first event is the varsity 200 medley relay. 4 swimmers. Each of them swim a 50. And each of them swim one of the 4 swimming strokes. Starts backstroke, breaststroke, butterfly, and freestyle. Backstrokers are in the water. Again, Hastings in lanes 1, 3, and 5, and Hill Murray in 2, 4, and 6 tonight. There is not a relay team in lane 6. So for Hastings in lane 1, Sophia Kovalenko, Chloe Arness, Clara Birkin, and Ellie Herrera Carlson. In lane 2 for Hill Murray, Abby Halderson, Ayla Harrington, Skylar Peterson, and Wendy Ritter. In lane 3 for Hastings, Ava McNamara, Izzy Green, Mari Hall, Stella Hilgers. In lane 4 for Hill Murray, Genevieve Bradshaw, Lucy Metz, Valerie Henkel, and Keely Whitcomb. And in lane 5 for Hastings, Josie Larson, Kira Arness, Emma Carter, and Ashton Stewart. So the backstrokers are done. We have the breaststrokers in the water. These are the second swimmers for the relay. I was told by Hastings Raiders coach Katie McAlphin that these relays she put together tonight are all on paper. Their times are just about a second apart. So all the relays should be really fun to watch for Hastings tonight. Looks like Hastings lane 3 and 5 were really close, followed by Hill Murray in 4. And then Hastings up in lane 1 and the Hill Murray Pioneers in 2. Hill Murray clearly has a great butterflyer. That is Valerie Henkel swimming the 3rd leg, the butterfly leg. And their anchor, the last swimmer, Keely Whitcomb in the water, followed by Stella Hilgers and Ashton Stewart, as well as Ellie Herrera Carlson for Hastings. Looks like Hastings lane 5 with Ashton has pulled ahead a little bit of Hastings lane 3 and lane 1. Hill Murray will win this first event, the relay. Waiting for an official time. 2:08.94. Winning time for the 200 medley relay. As these swimmers crawl out, we'll get ready for the next event, which is the 200-yard freestyle. We do have a JV heat followed by a varsity heat. There'll be 3 swimmers for JV, and it looks like they're all Hastings swimmers. Again, if you're just joining us, lane 1 is at the top of your screen, and lane 6 is at the bottom of your screen. Hastings will swim all night. They will swim lanes 1, 3, and 5, and Hill Murray 2, 4, and 6.
Event 3, girls 200-yard freestyle JV.
So for this JV heat for Hastings, in lane 1, Caden Butler. In lane 3, Greta Larson. And in lane 5 for Hastings is Fiona Olson. The 200 freestyle is 8 lengths of freestyle. 4 laps, 8 lengths. Greta Larson in lane 3 has started strong, followed by her teammates Fiona Olson and Caden Butler. Greta is also a diver. The first 50 completed for Greta. The 200 for swimming is considered a sprint event, which is a long sprint. If a 50 just down and back is a sprint, and 100 is a sprint, a 200 is a long sprint event. Swimmers have compared the 200 free to that of running a 400 meter. It's short, but it's long. Greta continues to swim well in lane 3, as does Caden in lane 1 and Fiona in lane 5. Greta will turn here, and she will have 150 left. 150 down. She has a down and back left. Her teammates have a little bit longer to go. Great experience for some young swimmers to get in here and swim a 200 freestyle tonight. Fiona and Caden have 1 lap or 2 lengths left. Looks like it's going to be a close race between these 2 Hastings swimmers. Just of note for tonight for our swim meet, both Hill Murray and Hastings have relatively smaller numbers on their swim teams this year, so there will not always be a JV and a varsity heat of every event. So we'll try to keep you up to date as well as I can. And it looks like Fiona will be second, followed by Caden Butler in third. Sorry, we had a few technical difficulties. We're back here in the varsity 200 freestyle. We have 5 swimmers in the pool. Chloe Arness from Hastings in lane 1. Hannah Handley, lane 2 for Hillmurray. Lauren Jenkins, lane 3 for Hastings. Lucy Metz, lane 4 for Hillmurray. And Annika Reese in lane 5 for Hastings. It looks like a really close race between Annika in lane 5 and Lauren Jenkins in lane 3. Closely followed by Chloe Arness in lane 1. And we have Lucy Metz in lane 4 and Hannah Handley in lane 2. There are a couple swimmers for Hastings who have very long arms. Annika is one of them. She is here in lane 5. So it will be a close race between Lauren and Annika, and it might come down to arm lengths. Looks like Lauren has pulled ahead just a little bit. They are nearing the 150 mark with a 50 left. Again, this is 8 lengths, 4 laps. So 2 lengths left, a single 50. Lauren continues to pull ahead a little bit of Annika as well as her teammate Chloe up in lane 1. Lucy Metz in lane 4 from Hillmurray is trying her best to catch up to Chloe. Arness in lane 1, followed by Hannah Handley in lane 2. As they come to the finish, it looks like Lauren Jenkins in lane 3 will finish first, followed by Annika. Nice race, ladies. And Chloe is able to hang on to 3rd place up in lane 1. Lucy Metz in for Hillmurray in lane 4 in 4th place. And Hannah Handley just finishing her race in lane 2. Winning time was 2:10.57. Next we will have the JV 200 IM. If you're not familiar with swimming, an IM is an individual medley, meaning that the swimmer swims each of the 4 strokes. At the beginning of the meet, we started with a medley relay. The order of that swim was backstroke, breaststroke, butterfly, and freestyle. In an individual medley, the order is butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, and freestyle. So these swimmers will start on the blocks.
This is going to be a test start. We're testing the system.
It sounds like the pool might be having a few technical difficulties and there is a test start. So we'll just be patient as they are trying to get stuff ready and make sure the starting and the timing equipment. You can see there are volunteers in chairs, most of them parents of Hastings swimmers, who are helping time. And if you are able to see at some point underneath the starting blocks against the wall, you could see maybe some cords, electrical stuff. There are timing pads at the end of that, that end of the pool, the starting and the finishing end, and the swimmers touch that pad as they finish the race, or in the middle of the race, obviously they're going to touch that wall, and that gives the official split. So in a 200, you could, the swimmer could know what their 50 split was. Hey, look at that, a perfect picture of a timing pad. So yeah, you can get an official split and the end. So of course, as would be expected, sometimes things electric and water don't do so well, and so there can be a few glitches between connections and cords, and chlorine is very hard on any equipment. It's hard on skin and hair too, but it's hard on equipment and surfaces, and so they're taking a few minutes to make sure the timing system is working. And so I mentioned the parent volunteers behind. There's 2 for each lane. One has a good old-fashioned stopwatch, and they start that stopwatch as the starter starts the race. And obviously they stop it when the swimmer touches the wall. And the rule is that no matter what part of the body touches the wall first, you stop your watch. So sometimes an elbow, or especially on backstroke, it can kind of be a different thing to know what touches the wall first. We're hoping it's usually a hand. So we are on to the JV 200 IM. There are 4 swimmers. In lane 1 for Hastings is Chloe Robinson. In lane 2, Lily Meyer from Hastings. In lane 3, Lily Meyer from Hastings. In lane 4, Larkin Crummy from Hill Murray. And in lane 5, Stella Hilgers from Hastings. A good race between Chloe Robinson and Lily Meyer up in lanes 1 and 3, and another really close race between Larkin Crummy and Stella Hilgers in lanes 4 and 5. Again, this is a 200 IM. They swim a 20. I apologize. It's a 200 IM, so they swim a 50 of each stroke, a down and back of butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, and freestyle. It continues to be a close race. Looks like Chloe Robinson turned first, but her teammate Lily Meyer is not far behind. And the same thing for Larkin Crummy in lane 4 and Stella Hilgers in lane 5. I think Lily Meyer is going to get to the wall first on this backstroke 50, and she'll flip on over and swim the breaststroke. And actually, she didn't do a flip turn. There are lots of rules in swimming. Lots of rules for how you can, how the wall, how you work, how a swimmer enters and leaves the wall. Breaststroke, got to have 2 hands on the wall. Backstroke, you got to hit the wall while you're on your back to end the race. But in the middle of the race, you could flip over and do 1 stroke on your belly. All those rules swimmers obviously learn the different races. And there are some choices whether swimmers do a flip turn or what they call an open turn. Finish breaststroke and on to freestyle. And Lily Meyer for Hastings in lane 3 has a significant lead over her teammates, Stella Hilgers and Chloe Robinson. And Lily will get to the wall first, followed by Stella. Chloe will finish third up in lane 1. And Larkin Crummy in lane 4 is finishing her race as well. Winning time was a 2:52.81. Varsity 200 IM is next. We have a full pool, 6 swimmers. For Hastings in lane 1, Mari Hall. For Hill Murray in lane 2, Skylar Peterson. Lila Saltzman for Hastings is in lane 3. Abby Helderson for Hill Murray in lane 4. Emma Demlow in lane 5 for Hastings. And Alexis Rorich from Hill Murray in lane 6. Again, the 200 IM, butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, and freestyle. Lila Saltzman and Emma Demlow get to the wall just about exactly the same time. Both of them are young swimmers. Emma is a 7th grader. First year swimming varsity swim, and she is known as a great butterflyer. Now they flip over on their backs for backstroke. Really another close race for 3rd with Mari Hall and Skylar Peterson and Abby Halderson, as well as Alexa Rorich. Emma Demlow does have a slight lead in lane 5 over her teammate Lila Saltzman in lane 3. We'll see how the breaststroke goes for these swimmers. Coaches will tell you the breaststroke is kind of the equalizer, the race determiner in a lot of IMs. Some people call it the rest stroke. It is probably the hardest stroke to put together. The breaststroke is the timing of it, and the technique is very challenging. Maybe not as physically demanding as the butterfly, but very technical to put together. Emma Demlow has a slight lead over her teammate Lila. Mari Hall in lane 1 is swimming well. And Alexis Rorich in lane 6 is a great breaststroker, and she is pulling up on Mari Hall and has passed her 2 teammates from Hill Murray. Now we're in the freestyle. And Lila and Emma are gonna see who has a little gas left in the tank to kick home. See a lot of water churning behind them. They are kicking hard to get to the wall, and I believe Lila will just touch ahead of Emma Demlow. Mari Hall will hang on to 3rd up in lane 1, followed by Alexis Rorich in lane 6 from Hill Murray, Abby Halderson in lane 4 from Hill Murray, and Skylar Peterson in lane 2 for the Pioneers. Nice swim, ladies. Fastest time tonight was a 2:28.37. We'll move on to the shortest and fastest race of the night, the 50 free. That is down and back as fast as these swimmers can go. We have 3 swimmers in the JV heat of the 50-yard freestyle. They are all Hill Murray swimmers. Wendy Ritter in lane 2, Candela Ramia in lane 4, and Stephanie Lopez in lane 6. And it looks like Wendy Ritter has gotten off to a fast start up in lane 2. She flips for home. This is a true sprint race. And Wendy Ritter hits the wall first with a 31.74, followed by Candela and Stephanie, her teammates from Hill Murray.
Even 8, girls 50-yard freestyle varsity. Lane 1 is green. Lane 2,
We want to say thank you to our sponsor, Biermeyer Financial Management, Retirement Planning and Expertise. We are certainly grateful for Biermeyer Financial Management and their sponsorship of HCTV Sports. Thank you. And I'll quickly announce the 6th, it's just 5 swimmers tonight for the varsity 50 free because it's fast. We got Izzy Green in lane 1 from Hastings, Ayla Harrington in lane 2 from Hill Murray, Clara Burke in lane 3 for Hastings, Genevieve Bradshaw from Hill Murray in lane 4, and Josie Larson in lane 5 for Hastings. 50 free, down and back. These swimmers try to go as far as they can without taking a breath. They put their chin down and spin their arms like a windmill. And the 3 Hastings swimmers are very, very close. I'm thinking lane 1. Oh, and the long arms of lane 3 of Clara Birkin out-touch her teammates. Actually, it is a darn tie, a 27-33 in lane 3 and in lane 1, followed by a 27-43 in lane 5. That is very, very close margins. You can't get closer than a tie. It's always fun to see. We will be back. We'll take an intermission, and we'll be back for the diving portion of our meet. Thanks for joining us on HCTV.
Push that trash that way, not this way. Come on.
Oh, hey there. Do you like HCTV?
That's one small step for Hastings and one giant leap for community television.
Do you want a custom video that promotes your business or organization and gives you the results you're looking for? As an HCTV sponsor, our staff will work with your business or organization to create a custom video to promote your brand. You also have an option of getting a shout out in every sporting event we cover. And that's 3 points for your business. So support HCTV today! Go to hastingstv.org/sponsors for more information or to give a one-time donation.
And we are back with a diving portion of our Raiders girls swim and dive meet, coming live from the Hastings Middle School pool. Tonight we have 9 divers. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from Hastings and 4 from Hill Murray. Up first is Ellie Herrera Carlson. She's doing an inward dive in the pike position. It's dive 401B, difficulty 1.5. Scores for Ellie, 4, 4, and 3.5. The next diver is Greta Larson from Hastings. She's doing dive 401C, inward dive, tuck position, degree of difficulty 1.4. Scores for Greta, 6, 4.5, and 5. Lucy Kindler from Hill Murray is next. She's doing dive 401B, inward dive, pike position 1.5. Scores for Lucy, 5, 4.5, and 4.5. Olivia Smith, Murray Hall from Hastings is next. She is doing dive 401C, an inward dive in the tuck position. Degree of difficulty is a 1.4. And diving, every dive is given a degree of difficulty on a numeric scale. Scores 6.5, 5, and 5.5. Olivia Smith from Hill Murray is the next diver. She is doing an inward dive, 1 somersault in the tuck position, a 1.6 degree of difficulty. Scores 3.5, 4.5, and 4.5. Next is Ashton Stewart from Hastings. Inward dive pike, 1.5. Five and a half, 5.5, 5. Lindsay Phelan from the Pioneers is next. She's doing the same dive, an inward dive, pike, or inward dive in the pike position. Scores for Lindsay, 6, 6, and 6. Chloe Arness from Hastings is next. She is doing the same dive, an inward dive pike, 1.5 degree of difficulty. Scores 8, 5.5, and 7. Ava Johnson from Hill Murray is our final diver in round 1. She is doing the same dive as well. Scores for Ava, 8, 6.5, and 6.5. We'll move on to round 2. Ellie Herrera Carlson from Hastings will do a back dive in the straight position. There are 6 rounds of dive, and each of them will have the 9 divers. For each round will have the 9 divers. Scores for Ellie, 3.5, 4, and 4. Greta Larson from Hastings is the next diver. She's doing an inward 1.5 somersault in the tuck position. Degree of difficulty 2.2. Judges are conferring they cannot. If a diver does not actually complete the dive, they cannot score it. So there is some conferring, and it does look like she did finish the rotation. So she will score a 1, a 2, and a 2. That might be a new dive for Greta that she is trying, and those 1.5s and somersaults are difficult. This is Lucy Kindler, Hill Murray, inward 1 somersault in the tuck position. Scores 5.5, 4, and 6. Mari is the next diver from Hastings. She is doing an inward, the same dive, an inward 1 somersault tuck position. Scores for Mari, 4.5, 5.5, and 5.5. Olivia Smith from the Pioneers is next. She'll do a back dive in the straight position. Scores 5.5, 5.5, and 6. Ashton Stewart is next for Hastings. She's doing an inward 1.5 somersault in the tuck position. Scores for Ashton, 4.5, 5.5, and 4.5. The next diver is Lindsay Phelan from Hill Murray. She is doing the same dive as well. A 1.5 inward. In order for divers to enter the water head first, they have to do a somersault and a half, whether it's a 1.5 or a 2.5 or a 3.5, depending on the board and the diver. But if you leave on your feet and you want to go into the water head first, you have to do another half somersault. This is Chloe. She will do in the same dive, the inward 1.5 somersault in the tuck position. Seven, 6, and 6.5. Actually 7, 6.5, and 6.5. Ava Johnson is doing the same dive as well. This is the inward 1.5 somersault. Seven, 7, and 7. As we start round 3, we'll start with Ellie from Hastings. She will do a back dive, 1 somersault in the tuck position. The judges for diving tonight are the diving coaches from each of the respective high schools and one of the officials in the blue shirt. And the other official is making sure that the dive is completed in its entirety. Scores 4.5, 4.5, and 5.5. Judges look for several different things as they are going to score a dive. The way the diver approaches the dive, their body position as they leave the board, through the air, and into the water. The ultimate goal for a diver is to not enter the water with any splash. 7, 5, and 7.5 for Greta Larson. Lucy Kindler from Hill Murray is next. She'll do a forward 1.5 somersault in the tuck position. Degree of difficulty is a 1.6. Five, 5, and 6 are the scores for Lucy. Mari Hall from Hastings is next. She will do a back dive in the straight position. Degree of difficulty is a 1.7. Mari gets the board adjusted the way she likes it for this dive, for her personal choice of bounciness. A beautiful back dive. 6, 4.5, and 6. Olivia Smith from Hill Murray is next. She will do a reverse dive in the tuck position. The name of the dive being an inward or a reverse or a forward or a back dive depends on how the diver leaves the board, what direction and what direction they enter the water. So that was a reverse dive. She went off one facing forward and went into the water, reversed, facing the board. This is Ashton Stewart from Hastings. She is doing a back dive, 1.5 somersault in the tuck position, 2.0 degree of difficulty. Six and a half, 7, and 5.5 are scores for Ashton. Lindsay Phelan is next. She will do the reverse dive in the pike position. Scores for Lindsay, 6, 7, and 6.5. Chloe Arness from Hastings is next. She will do the back 1.5 somersault in the tuck position. This is dive 203C. 5.5, 7, and 6. Ava Johnson, Hill Murray, forward 2 somersaults in the tuck position. So she will do 2 somersaults and enter the water feet first. Six and a half, 6, and 6. That concludes round 3. We move on to lane 4. Ellie Herrera Carlson from Hastings will do a reverse dive in the tuck position. The degree of difficulty is a 1.6. It's dive 301C. Scores for Ellie, 5.5, 4.5, and 4.5. Greta Larson from Hastings is our next diver. Back 1.5 somersaults with a half twist in the free position. Degree of difficulty is a 2.1. Again, it is a back 1.5 somersaults, adding a half twist. Scores for Greta, 5.5, 5, 5.5. Lucy Kindler, Hill Murray, back 1 somersault, straight position, degree of difficulty 1.7. Scores for Lucy, 4, 4.5, and 4.5. Mari Hall Hastings, back 1 somersault, tuck position. Scores for Mari, 5, 5, and 4.5. Olivia Smith from Hill Murray, a forward 1 somersault with 1 twist. Degree of difficulty is a 1.9. Scores for Olivia, 4.5, 4.5, and 4. Ashton Stewart Hastings, a back 1 somersault with 1.5 twists, free position. Scores for Ashton, 6.5, 6, 5.5. Lindsay Phelan, Hill Murray, forward 2 somersaults in the tuck position. A few cheers from her teammates. Scores 4.5, 6.5, and 6.5. Chloe Arness Hastings, back 1 somersault, 1.5 twists, free position. Degree of difficulty is a 2.3. Scores for Chloe, 4.5, 4.5, and 4. Ava Johnson, Hill Murray, forward 1.5 somersaults, 1 twist. Degree of difficulty 2.2. Scores for Ava, 4.5, 5.5, and 4. That is the end of round 4. Round 5 begins with Ellie Herrera Carlson doing a forward 1 somersault, tuck position. Degree of difficulty is a 1.4. Scores 4.5, 5, and 4. Greta Larson Hastings, reverse 1 somersault, tuck position. Greta did not complete that dive correctly. She must have done a different dive. Lucy Kindler, Hill Murray, will do a back 1 somersault with a half twist. Four and a half, 5, 5.5. Mari Hall Hastings, forward 1.5 somersault in the pike position. Scores 5, 6, and 6. Olivia Smith Hill Murray will do the same dive, a forward 1.5 somersault, pike position. Divers conferring with her coaches on what dive she should do. They're each given a name and a number and a degree of difficulty. Nicely done. For a little confusion at the start. 5.5, 6.5, 6.5. Ashton Stewart from Hastings will do the same dive, but in the tuck position. Forward 1.5 somersaults. It's a beautiful entry. 6.5, 7, 7.5. Lindsay Phelan Hill Murray Pioneers is next. She'll do a back dive in the pike position, a 1.6 degree of difficulty. Scores for Lindsay, 6, 6.5, and 6. Chloe Arness Hastings will do a forward 2 somersaults in the tuck position. Degree of difficulty is a 2.2. tuck position is when your knees are brought up to your chest, and pike position is more like the letter V. Free is your body is free and stretched out. Scores 6.5, 5, and 6.5. This is Ava Johnson from Hill Murray. She will be doing a backward 1.5 somersaults. Pike position, 2.3 degree of difficulty. Five and a half, 6.5. I'm sorry, 5, 7, and 6. That completes round 5. The final round will be Ellie Herrera Carlson, Hastings. She's doing a forward 1 somersault with a half twist, free position, 1.7. Judges 4, 4, and 3. Five and a half, and 5 for Olivia. Ashton Stewart from Hastings, her final dive will be a forward 2 somersaults in the tuck position. We've seen a number of divers do that dive tonight. 2 somersaults. Lands in the water with her feet first. Scores for Ash. Chloe Arness will be the last Raider diver tonight. She will do a reverse 1.5 somersault in the tuck position, 2.1 degree of difficulty. Six and a half, and 6.5. Our final diver for tonight is Ava Johnson from Hill Murray. She will do a back 1.5 somersaults with a half twist. 2.1 degree of difficulty. Six, and 6.5. That concludes diving. We will take a few minutes of a break and be back for the final swimming events of the night. Thanks for joining us on HCTV Sports.
I'm Caden Noring, and I live in Hastings, Minnesota. Right here in Hastings, Snapchat and other social media apps are being used to buy and sell illegal drugs, many of which are made with illicit fentanyl, like ordering a pizza. With a few keywords or emojis, kids can order what they think are legit prescription drugs, like Percocet, Xanax, and Adderall, and have them delivered right to their home. 4 out of every 10 pills found on social media are made up of deadly fentanyl. How do I know this? That's how I lost my big brother Devin on April 4th, 2020. A pill he and his friend got from someone on Snapchat was a fake. The Percocet they believed they were given was made with enough fentanyl to kill 10 people. Devin didn't know. Devin didn't want to die. If you suspect drug dealing is happening, you can leave an anonymous tip by using the tip 411 system in Hastings. Text the word Hastings and your tip to 847-411. Call 911 if you suspect an overdose is happening. Seconds count. Call United Way's 24/7 helpline by dialing 211 to find resource in and near Hastings. Contact United Way of Hastings or visit their website unitedwayofhastings.org. For more resource or to make a donation, You can save a life by working with me and the United Way of Hastings to build awareness and reduce the stigma around overdose and fentanyl poisoning. One pill can kill.
We are back live at the Raiders girls swim and dive meet. Tonight, the Hastings Raiders are swimming against the Hill Murray Pioneers. We just finished diving, a little warm-up. I can tell you the top 4 divers. Lindsay from Hill Murray was in 4th. Ashton Stewart from Hastings was 3rd. Chloe Arness from Hastings was 2nd. And Ava, I'm going to get her last name, Ava Johnson from Hill Murray was 1st. We finished diving, and we will now conclude with the second half of swim events. We'll go right into the 100 butterfly. We do have a JV and a varsity heat of the 100 butterfly. That's 4 lengths of butterfly. In the JV heat, we have Emma Demlow from Hastings in lane 1, Lila Saltzman lane 3 from Hastings, and Annika Reese in lane 5 from Hastings. These are all young swimmers. Emma is 12, Lila's 13, and Annika's 13. I predict it's a close race. It looks like Emma gets to the wall first, followed by Lila Saltzman and Annika Reese. Butterfly is a total body workout. Core, shoulders, hamstrings. It's the dolphin kick. They undulate through the water like a dolphin. The more flexible a swimmer is, the more relaxed a swimmer is, the easier the butterfly is. Lila Saltzman has pulled ahead a little bit of her teammates, Emma Demlow and Annika Reese. Lila will hit the wall first, followed by Emma and Annika. Lila swam that in a 1:10.61. We'll move to the next event, which is the varsity 100-yard butterfly. We have 5 swimmers, 3 from Hastings, 2 from Hill Murray. Clara Birkin, lane 1 for Hastings. Hannah Hanley, lane 2 for Hill Murray. Ava McNamara from Hastings is in lane 3. Valerie Henkel from Hill Murray is in 4. And Kira Arness in lane 5 from Hastings. In the middle of the pool in lane 3, Ava McNamara from Hastings is off to an early lead. Ava is known as a fabulous butterflyer. She is exceedingly flexible and makes butterfly look really easy, even though we all know it's not. She is closely followed by Valerie Henkel from Hill Murray in lane 4. As well as her teammate Kira Arness in 5, Clara Birkin in lane 1, and Hannah Hanley from Hill Murray in lane 2. That is a fast swim for Ava. She will get to the wall. It's a fast swim for Valerie as well. Ava's a 58.98, just a little slower than her best time last year. Raiders are 1, 3, and 4. Hill Murray takes 2nd and 5th. Next event is the JV girls 100-yard freestyle. So we go from 100 butterfly to 100 freestyle. 3 swimmers in the 100 free. Caden Butler in lane 3 for Hastings. Stephanie Lopez, Hill Murray in lane 4, and Fiona Olson, lane 5 for Hastings. 4 lengths of freestyle, a sprint, They have added someone in lane 6, and I am not sure who it is, but she is from Hill Murray. And yes, it is freestyle, but we have 2 girls that are swimming breaststroke. Technically in freestyle, it's free. You can swim how you would like. So maybe they didn't get entered into a 100 breaststroke event, so they threw them in a freestyle. At the end of the first 50, Stephanie Lopez for Hill Murray is leading the 100 free, followed by Kaden Butler and Fiona Olsen from Hastings. And in the 100 breaststroke, the Hill Murray swimmer in lane 6, whose cap says Ritter, is leading her teammate from lane 2, who is also from Hill Murray. Kaden and Fiona are quite close for Hastings in lane 2, and in lane 4, Sophia Lopez has the lead in lane 4. Sorry if I just got my numbers confused. It's a little confusing to have breaststrokers and freestylers in the pool at the same time. Nice race, ladies. This next heat, the varsity 100 freestyle, will not have any breaststrokers, backstrokers, or butterflyers. I predicted 6 lanes of freestylers. In lane 1 for Hastings is Emma Carter. In lane 2 for Hill Murray is Alexis Leilman. In lane 3 is Izzy Green for Hastings. Abby Helderson for Hill Murray is in lane 4. Chloe Robinson in lane 5 for Hastings. And Alexis Roerich for Hill Murray in lane 6. I like to try to predict when I watch swim events who will come out of the water from the start first, meaning who has, great underwaters. Obviously, what the swimmers do on top of the water is very important, but what happens underneath the water as they start and as they come off the wall is also very important. Swimmers work on streamline and their turns and breaking out from the wall. And it looks like Izzy Green is doing a good job of a lot of those things, as she has a commanding lead there in lane 3, followed by Abby Helderson from Hill Murray in lane 4. A close race for third between Alexis Leilman and her teammate Alexis Roerich in lane 6. Then we have Chloe Robinson and Emma Carter for Hastings. It looks like Emma will touch the wall in 5th and Chloe Robinson in 6th. Those were 2 seniors for Hastings. The next event is the 500 freestyle, the longest event tonight, and in the high school lineup of swim events is the 500 freestyle. That's 20 lengths, 10 laps of the pool. We have 5 lanes of swimmers tonight. 3 for Hastings and 2 for Hill Murray. I'll let them start. In lane 1 for Hastings is Lauren Jenkins. In lane 2 for Hill Murray is Ayla Harrington. Lane 3 for Hastings is Sophia Kovalenko. Lane 4 for Hill Murray is Keely Whitcomb. Lane 5 for Hastings is Josie Larson. One of the Hastings swimmers told me that their coaches are expecting the 3 Hastings swimmers to have a tight and good race tonight. It'll be fun to see how it goes. At that flip turn, At the end of the first 50, Sofia Kovalenko was slightly ahead of her teammate Lauren Jenkins in lane 1, followed by Josie Larson in lane 5. Three lengths down, 17 to go. As in most things in life, you either love it or you hate it. The 500 is the longest distance in the high school swim program. And distance swimmers, if you're a distance swimmer, you love it. If you're not, and your coach puts you in the 500, there has been some groaning about the 500 if it is not your favorite event, because it's long and it's hard. There's a lot of strategy in a 500. Great distance swimmers have a strategy to go out fast, settle into a very consistent split time, and finish strong. There's drafting involved if you're right next to the, in a lane right next to each other. This race right now will not involve any drafting. No one's close enough to each other, both time-wise and in the, a next-door lane to be able to do any drafting. Sofia continues to lead in the middle of the pool. Her split time is a 35:03 with a 35:94 and a 35:49. Those are really close splits. We'll see how they hold on the next 50. Splits for Hill Murray swimmers right at 39, almost 40. Those two girls are very close as they work their way through this race. Sofia dropped below 35 with a 34:70. And Josie and Lauren continue to hold split times just at 35 seconds. Lauren flips just slightly ahead of Josie Larson. These swimmers are about halfway done with their race. If you can see at the end of the pool, each swimmer in each lane has a teammate that is holding white cards with numbers. It's a long enough race that you could forget what length you are on. So you have a teammate that helps you by telling you what length you're on. And it's also a way for coaches to communicate with the swimmer. If your number is upside down, when you get down, you better start kicking faster. That's your coach telling you it's time to turn on some speed. Sofia has a pretty commanding lead in this race. Josie and Lauren are very close at that last turn. It was hard to tell who was ahead of who. In the swimming world, sometimes it's whose butt came up first on a flip turn. It's going to be a close race between 4th and 5th as well. That is Ayla Harrington in lane 2 from Hill Murray and Keely Whitcomb in lane 4. Sofia is moving through this race well. At 17 lengths, she is pulling away from her teammates and is lapping a few of the other racers as well. And that is a distance swimmer's favorite noise, the bell signifying the final 50 for the swimmer who is in the lead. And then they got double red at the end saying kick for home with all you've got. And as predicted, it will be very close for Lauren and for Josie. Who has a little bit more left to kick home? Josie appears to have pulled ahead a little bit. Sophia is first with a 5:40, followed by her teammate in lane 5 with a 5:49 for Josie, and in lane 1 for Lauren. In third place with a 5:53. Two swimmers from Hill Murray are finishing up their last 25. This is Ayla Harrington in lane 2 and Keely Whitcomb in lane 4. Ayla finishes in a time of, I'm waiting for the 6:22, and Keely, I'm gonna guess, is right around a 6:30.
Girls 200-yard freestyle relay.
We'll move on to the relay. 200-yard freestyle relay, 4 swimmers. Everyone swimming a 50. But before we get to this race, let's thank our sponsor once again, Biermeyer Financial Management, Retirement Planning and Expertise. We are grateful for their sponsorship and their presence in the community. And again, the 200 freestyle relay, varsity heat, 5 lanes of swimmers. In lane 1 for Hastings, Ashton Stewart, Lauren Jenkins, Clara Birkin, and Caden Butler. In lane 2 for Hill Murray, Larkin Crummy, Alexis Rorich, Alexis Lehman, and Hannah Handley. In lane 3 for Hastings, Josie Larson, Emma Demlow, Annika Reese, and Chloe Robinson. In lane 5 for Hill Murray, Skylar Peterson, Lucy Metz, Genevieve Bradshaw, and Valerie Henkel. And in lane 5 for Hastings, Kira Arness, Izzy Green, Lila Saltzman, and Fiona Olson. The second swimmers, as I look up, are in the water. It looks like Hastings' Lauren Jenkins went from the 500 and dove in and just swam another 50. Third swimmers in the water for Hastings. Hastings lane 1 and lane 5. This is going to be a good race, as coaches predicted. Lila Saltzman and Clara Birkin, followed by teammate Annika Reese. For Hill Murray in lane 4 is Genevieve Bradshaw and Alexis Lehman in lane 2. And we will have the final swimmers entering the water. Caden Butler for Hastings in lane 1. Fiona Olson for Hastings in lane 4. Chloe Robinson in lane 3 for Hastings. And it looks like Hill Murray is going to pull ahead with their final anchor swimmer, who is Hannah Handley. No, excuse me, that was Valerie Henkel in lane 4. So Hill Murray wins the 200-yard freestyle relay, followed by the Hastings swimmers in lane 5. I'm sorry. I got my lanes and my numbers goofed up on that. Hill Murray was in 4, followed by Hastings in lane 5. And this is, I want to just mention and point out that our next broadcast for HCTV Sports will be boys varsity football at Simley, 2 o'clock on Saturday. It's a Saturday game. We are happy to be there live and bring you the game in its entirety. 2 o'clock Saturday. It's at Simile Varsity Football, our next broadcast. And if you're curious why it's a Saturday game, well, in the state of Minnesota, there are not enough teams of officials to have every team have a Friday night game. Hopefully the weather Saturday afternoon will be a great afternoon for football. And we will be excited to bring you that game. Before that, we will come back to the pool, have a few more events, one of which is the JV 100-yard backstroke. It looks like there was potentially some timing issues in the relay that the officials and the timers are figuring out. And then we will get back to the 100-yard backstroke. If you're new to swimming and don't know, backstrokers start in the water. They don't climb on the blocks. They get in the water. The design of the starting blocks has a bar kind of below the starting block. And the swimmers hold onto that. They put their feet on the wall. They pull themselves up at the get your marks kind of deal from the starter, and then he gives them a start as they arch their backs and try to dive in. Again, this is the JV heat. It looks we have 3 Hastings swimmers: Emma Carter in lane 1, Stella Hilgers in lane 3, Alexis Lehman from Hill Murray in lane 4, and Lily Meyer in lane 5 for Hastings. Alexis Lehman. Sorry, I mispronounced multiple names tonight, I am sure. Looks like Emma Carter hits the wall at 25 yards first and heads back. The backstroke, 4 lengths in the 100 backstroke. I spoke earlier of the underwaters and the importance of the technique under the water and the rules of turns. If you just saw, the backstrokers will come to the wall and they flip over and can do 1 stroke going forward with 1 arm. They touch the wall, open, most of them open water turn. There is a backstroke flip turn called a bucket turn. And if you're curious of why there's flags across the pool, that is for the backstrokers. They know from that point how many strokes they take into the wall to finish. And the backstrokers, as they can flip over for, a wall during the race, at the end they must finish on their back and hit the wall with their arm, their hand, while they're still on their back. And I spoke earlier of the bucket turn. There are different turns for backstroke. These swimmers were doing more traditional flip turns as they flipped onto their fronts as they came towards the wall, did a flip turn, and then started swimming again.
Event 20, girls 100-yard backstroke, varsity. Lane 1, Lucy Medley.
We will have the varsity backstroke next. We have 4 swimmers in the pool. 2 from Hastings, 2 from Hill Murray. Lucy Metz from Hill Murray is in lane 2. Ava McNamara from Hastings is in lane 3. Genevieve Bradshaw, Hill Murray in lane 4. And Ellie Herrera Carlson for Hastings in lane 5. Ava McNamara in lane 3 was the last one to come up. You might wonder if you could swim the entire length of the pool underwater, and you cannot. There is a rule. You must come up by the short pole. If you see the tall poles with the flags, maybe you see the short metal poles. Swimmers do have to come up from underwaters before the short poles. And for some swimmers, maybe in the professional collegiate world, they would rather stay underwater the entire time and time it perfectly to come up at the very last second. Ava has a commanding lead of this event, followed by Genevieve Bradshaw in lane 4. And it's a close race for third between Ellie Herrera-Carlson and Lucy Metz from Hill Murray. Ellie from Hastings hits the wall in third, followed by Lucy Metz in lane 2 for Hill Murray. We will have one heat, the varsity heat of the 100-yard breaststroke. That is the next event.
Event 22, girls 100-yard breaststroke varsity. Lane 1, Sophia Kovalenko. Lane 2.
Lane 1 will be Sophia Kovalenko from Hastings. Lane 2, Skylar Peterson, Hill Murray. Lane 3 from Hastings, Ashton Stewart. Valerie Henkel in lane 4 from Hill Murray. Kira Arness in lane 5 from Hastings. And Keely Whitcomb, Hill Murray, lane 6. 4 lengths breaststroke. Slight delay here as the officials were conferring about something. I'm sure the swimmers will be on the starting blocks shortly. And the race will be starting soon. This is the final individual event for tonight. Valerie Henkel from Hill Murray gets to the wall first on the first 25, followed by Ashton Stewart for Hastings, Sophia Kovalenko for Hastings, Kira Arness for Hastings, Skylar Peterson for Hill Murray, and Keely Whitcomb. I love a good breaststroke race. If you watch, there's such a variation of technique for breaststroke. Pull, breathe, kick, glide. The technique of putting it together is crucial. Valerie is a strong breaststroker. Breaststroke has the frog kick or the whip kick that propels the swimmers. Valerie will finish this right about 1 minute and 10 seconds. Followed by Ashton Stewart from Hastings, Kira Arness from Hastings, and Sophia Kovalenko from Hastings up in lane 1. Hill Murray lane 2, Skylar Peterson will come in 4th, followed by Keely Whitcomb. I'm sorry, Skylar was 5th and Keely Whitcomb will be 6th in lane 6. We will move into our final event for tonight, which is the 400 freestyle relay. 4 swimmers. Looks like we have 5 lanes of swimmers tonight, but each lane has 4 swimmers. Each swimmer swims a 100 freestyle. This is always a favorite relay. The 100-yard freestyle is a sprint, so these swimmers will be giving it their all for 4 lengths. In lane 1 for Hastings, Ava McNamara, Emma Demlow, Mari Hall, and Emma Carter. In lane 2 for Hill Murray, Alexis Laleman, Wendy Ritter, Larkin Crummy, and Hannah Handley. In lane 3 for Hastings, Sophia Kovalenko, Annika Reese, Greta Larson, Chloe Robinson. Hill Murray lane 4, Ayla Harrington, Alexis Rorich, Keely Whitcomb, and Abby Halderson. In lane 5 for Hastings, Lauren Jenkins, Lila Saltzman, Lily Meyer, and Stella Hilgers. And we've got a nice race. Predicted relays were going to be tight tonight, and they are. It looks like Ava has a slight lead, followed by Lauren Jenkins in lane 5, and Sophia in lane 3. The second swimmer is on the blocks. Relays are fun to watch because the timing between the swimmers is crucial. The rule for relays: the fingers of the swimmer in the pool must touch the wall before the toes of the swimmer on the blocks leaves the blocks. And the officials stand and watch very carefully to make sure the fingers touch before the toes leave the wall. Obviously, relay starts and relay handoffs are really important, and they practice them to time it right, that you could be leaving the block and your body could be moving forward with your toes still on the block as the swimmer was coming into the wall. Second swimmer for Hastings in lane 5 is Lila Saltzman, and she's swimming well and is pulled ahead for the team in lane 5. Annika Reese finishes up her race, as does Emma Demlow. And coming into the wall for Hill Murray in lane 4 is Alexis Rorich, followed by Wendy Ritter in lane 2. So in the water now for Hastings in lane 5 is Lily Meyer. In lane 3 is Greta Larson, and in lane 1 is Mari Hall. The third swimmer for Hill Murray in lane 2 is Larkin Crummy, and in lane 4 for Hill Murray, the third swimmer is Keely Whitcomb. Getting ready for Hastings, all 3 of the final swimmers are climbing on the blocks, and it is close between lane 1, 3, and 5. The final swimmers for Hastings in lane 1 will be Emma Carter. In lane 3 will be Chloe Robinson, and in lane 5 will be Stella Hilgers. Final swimmers are in the water for Hastings. Final swimmer in the water in lane 4 for Hill Murray is Abby Halderson, as Hannah Handley is getting ready for her swim in lane 2. It looks like Emma Carter and Stella Hilgers are pretty close in lanes 1 and 5. It'll be a close finish. I think Stella is kicking it in. Yes, lane 5 for Hastings will get first, followed by lane 2 for Hastings, followed by lane 1 for Hastings, followed by lane 3 for Hastings, followed by lane 4, the Hill Murray team. And Hannah Handley finishing her race in lane 2 for Hill Murray. We will wait until we have the final score for the night right now, as this final relay was started. The score was Hastings Raiders 98 and the Hill Murray Pioneers 70. We'll see what it ends up, the final score. We want to thank you for joining us tonight, whether you're a Raiders fan or a Hill Murray fan, or you're watching this slightly delayed in a few days. We are glad you are watching. We are awaiting the final score. doing some calculations, making sure the times are correct. I want to say thanks to the officials for being here. I don't know their names, but I'm always grateful for officials and coaches. Coaches for Hastings, head coach is Katie McAlphin, Jerry Rupp, Brianna Arness, and Dylan Anderson. Brenda Green is working at the desk and the computer, trying to figure out all the timing and events and points as we await the final score. Swimmers are getting into the pool just to do a little cool down after lots of races and muscles full of lactic acid. They do a little cool down to finish off the night. And yes, the pool is rather cool this morning. It was 76 degrees, which was a little chilly, if I was honest. Teams are, Hastings is doing a cheer, giving recognition to their competitors from Hill Murray. I'm always a fan of good sportsmanship. We still do not have a final score. The girls swam so fast that they couldn't keep up at the table with the scores. We do have 4 seniors with their banners up. If I can read the names: Emma Carter, Ava McNamara, Shannon Olson, and Chloe Robinson. One of another final, later in the season there'll be a home meet that is senior night. Oh, I want to remind you again of our next broadcast. You can join HCTV live on Saturday afternoon, 2 o'clock varsity football at Simley. The game is at Simley, 2 o'clock Saturday varsity football. I heard them announce the final score. I'm waiting for confirmation. 98-82. 98 Hastings Raiders, 82 Hill Murray Pioneers. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. My name is Julie Urban, and I have been happy to be here giving you some info for our broadcast tonight. Our camera operators, Max Slocum and Will Celine, and the producer-director is Hunter Pinky. Thank you for joining us. Have a great evening.